Hi, welcome to my kitchen. My name's Rose. Today we're going to be cooking oatmeal cookies. I love oatmeal cookies. I've been married 31 years and it's taken me a while to find an oatmeal cookie I really like. Sometimes they're really puffy but they don't have good flavor, or they're so flat that they're kind of too crispy. But I think this recipe is really a great recipe. Now I've adjusted the recipe a little bit, but I originally got it from Ree Drummond's brown sugar cookie recipe, which is fantastic. And I just want to say how much I appreciate all of the opportunities I've had to learn from either the Food Network or videos I've seen online or different cookbooks or Pinterest. Take advantage of all those things. What an amazing library we have of resources to get good recipes. So this is going to start out with a cup of room temperature butter. Again, you want to always make sure that your butter is room temperature so that it will blend properly with the sugar you're going to add. So I'm going to go ahead and add that cup of butter. To that I'm going to add 2 cups of brown sugar. Now when you're measuring brown sugar, always remember to firmly pack your brown sugar because it's moist and has molasses in it, so you have to pack it to get the proper measurement. So I'm going to go ahead and start creaming this together. This might take a few minutes just because when you're creaming butter and sugar together, you want it to get really well incorporated, light and fluffy. So you can put it at a medium speed, and it's flying out a little bit here. That's the reason I always have an apron on. But this is a really nice recipe to have on hand in your freezer. If you have guests come over or if you have to take cookies somewhere, they freeze really well. Okay, that is pretty well incorporated. I'm going to go ahead and mix from the bottom. Okay. To that, I am going to add 2 jumbo eggs that are also room temperature, which helps with the blending, also helps you to have really light and fluffy cookies. Then I am going to add, I believe it's, yes, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract to that. I'm going to go ahead and let that incorporate a little more. When you put your eggs in, you can go ahead and let it beat quite a while and it'll get nice and light and fluffy. I'll add this to the mixture. And I'm going to go ahead and scrape the sides again and my paddle to make sure that I'm getting all of the ingredients incorporated together before I add dry ingredients. Okay. We're going to let that go. While we're waiting on that, I am going to go ahead and mix my 1.5 cups of flour to a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Let's go ahead and use this end of this so I can get that all in there. 1 teaspoon of dried cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm going to go ahead and mix that together. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and incorporate all of those dry ingredients into the mixer. Put it on low. Now at this point in mixing the cookies, I want to make sure just to incorporate the flour just enough so that everything is well blended, but that I'm not mixing it so much that it's going to make the cookies tough. There we go. I'll put that up a little bit. There, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and add, now this is 3 cups of old-fashioned oats. You know, there's a difference. You can buy the old-fashioned oats or the quick oats. This recipe is calling for old-fashioned oats, so I would stick to that. I wouldn't deviate from and I go ahead and mix that just until it's blended. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and scrape the paddle, get as much of this off as I can. And I like to add a cup of raisins to my oatmeal cookies. The original recipe doesn't have raisins, it doesn't have the cinnamon in it. Now another variation you could do is don't add the cinnamon and add 2 cups of chocolate chips. And that would be delicious as well. But today we're just going to go ahead and I'm just going to mix these by hand into the cookies. It also gives me the opportunity to make sure the bottom is scraped really well and that everything is incorporated. This is a really nice dough. I've used it quite a bit. I think the cinnamon adds a lot of flavor to it, and who wouldn't like a brown sugar cookie of any kind? Okay. So we like big cookies at our house, so I'm going to go ahead and use an ice cream scoop. And I would recommend having parchment on your cookie sheet because these are all butter and sometimes they can stick a little bit. I personally like the Air Bake flat cookie sheets because I feel like they circulate a little more. And I am going to cook these at 350 on a convection setting. The convection will allow me to do all 3 racks at the same time. Now, because I'm making these so big with an ice cream scoop, it's going to make about 18, I believe 18 cookies or so, but the most I'll be able to cook in the first batch is about 15 because I put no more than 5 per sheet. I think another variation that would be really delicious is different nuts going in the cookies. I think that any nut would taste delicious. Another variation is using cranberries. You could use dried cranberries, dried cherries, if you like that. The reason I like the ice cream scoop, or a scoop of any size, is your cookies are a little bit more uniform in size. And that not only looks good, but it will bake more evenly. If you have your cookies all different sizes, they're not going to bake evenly. So I'm just going to get these all on the plate, on the trays, excuse me, and we will get these in the oven. Now the directions say they cook about 11 to 13 minutes. I would check them at around 11 minutes. I'm pretty sure they're going to take the full 13 minutes. Oh, this is only going to make about 15. I thought maybe my ice cream scoop's a little bigger. This will make about 15. We're going to go ahead and put those in a 350 oven. And they, like I said, they'll take about 11 to 13 minutes till they're lightly brown on the edge but kind of gooey in the middle. Well, here's the finished product. They are fabulous cookies. I hope you enjoy them. They're really easy. Thanks for visiting my kitchen and have a fabulous day.